Hello everyone, my name's Tom Beach. I'm from Cardiff University and I'm going to be presenting this piece of training material of the State of the Industry survey that we did and the current views from industry that we gathered as part of the Accord project. The State of the Industry survey done within the Accord project aimed to understand the state of the industry in terms of academic work and commercial software tools. We also conducted a survey of industry members, that's professionals working in the building control sector. And this focused on understanding their views on the possible adoption and benefits of digital building permitting and automated compliance checking, and how we can achieve wider adoption of these technologies. The knowledge for this survey is useful for all regulatory authorities considering the adoption of digital or automated compliance checking processes. This survey was also done via an established methodology which has not only been deployed as part of the Accord projects but also as part of previous projects, and so it can form as a baseline and template for more detailed studies in different regulatory domains. So I'm now going to take you through some high-level results from our State of the Industry survey. The first thing we did was a landscape review, and what this involved doing was really surveying what's out there in terms of current developments. So we looked at a total of 29 academic studies that have done work in digital building permitting and automated compliance checking. We looked at a large number, 20, relevant software tools and technologies and reviewed them. We looked at existing EU projects and efforts, and we found 9 existing projects either currently ongoing or recently finished across the EU and the rest of the world, and we reviewed them. We also looked at national adoption efforts towards digital building permitting. We looked across 5 different countries, looking at things like the EU network for digital building permitting, the work in Finland and Estonia, as well as the work in the UK and other countries. And then finally, we analysed a set of relevant standards, 86 in total, that will be relevant in terms of achieving adoption of digital building permitting and the automated compliance checking. The State of the Industry survey itself was built on previous work done by the Building Smart International Regulatory Room and the DCOM network in the UK. And it focused on understanding industry views, and we did this by talking directly to members of the industry on the possible adoption and benefits of digital building permitting and automated compliance checking, and how to achieve wider adoption. We sent this out as a survey. The survey was open for a month and we received a total of 472 responses. As a high-level summary, what our survey found is that the vast majority of the industry members that we surveyed felt that in the next 10 years either partial or full automation are possible. However, there was a very strong preference in this in maintaining a final human sign-off regardless of whether full implementation was actually achieved. So what this did is this sent us a very clear message that industry members are not against automation as long as a final human sign-off is retained. And this is some of the results that we found. In this figure, what we're showing is the responses based on what is possible in the next 10 years. And we gave respondents 6 options, ranging from no automation through to just automated information exchange, automated validation, partial automation, full automation with final human sign-off, and full automation with no final human sign-off. And as you can see, the vast majority of responses across all the 3 different perspectives, so the technological perspective, the commercial perspective, and the political perspective, indicated that either full automation or partial automation is possible. Interesting to note that the lowest ranking for full automation, maintaining final human sign-off, was from the political perspective. This is the same data but now organised per discipline as opposed to per perspective. And what we found is very interesting here is that project managers are far more likely to consider full automation without final human sign-off as appropriate as opposed to the other disciplines. The building control and permitting professionals very strongly indicated their preferences for partial automation, whereas the other disciplines gave a more mixed response, kind of mirroring at a smaller scale the results from the previous slide. The survey also asked respondents to outline what they thought was their key desired outcomes from digital building permitting and automated compliance checking. And this is what they said. They said they want to see time savings, an increase in certainty, i.e. How can I be certain before I submit this model? How can I be more certain before I submit this model what the outcome of the assessment is going to be? Cost savings, an increasing awareness of compliance during the design process, and also auditability. For example, ensuring the process is transparent and they can understand why decisions have been come to in the way they have. We also asked respondents to outline what they thought were the key obstacles to overcome when adopting digital building permitting. These were things like differing processes between territories and countries, lack of digital skills in regulatory bodies, lack of software tools to support digital compliance processes, and no standard specification of design documentation, i.e. what do you submit for compliance checking and digital building permitting. There's no standardised approach there. We also asked respondents to specify what they thought were some of their key requirements, and the most highly rated responses were standardised submission processes, the ability to link BIM and GIS datasets, intuitive user-friendly interfaces, the provision of training and support, open access to high-level result data, i.e. can I see high-level data from other buildings being approved or rejected in my given regulatory domain, and simple, clear processes. Again, another drive towards transparency here. Thank you very much for listening. What I've given in the last few minutes is a really brief overview of our results from our survey. If you're interested in sending more information, please get in contact and we can provide you with some more detailed results. Thank you.